Hello, welcome back. This is Insti and I'm continuing playing Sherlock Holmes, Crimes and Punishments. On last two episodes, we had a few steamy encounters and we managed to solve the Roman Bard's murder. And now...
I agree with you, Toby, that Watson's shoe is preferable to Mrs. Hudson's cold cuts.
Yes, we already heard that. Yes, and Lestrade sent us this letter requesting our fast arrival on Abbey Grange. Is it Abbey Grange? I think. Maybe. We will find out. And as you can see, it's quite early in the morning and quite rainy. Anyways, Watson, there's no time to pout. Let's leave. Yes, Abbey Grange. I remember correctly. At least for this time. Okay, that's a little weird. And continue. I think there is 2 cases after this. Maybe.
Ah, Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson, here you are. I'm very glad that you have come, but perhaps I should not have troubled you after all.
And why is that?
Lady Brackenstall has come to her senses, and she has given so clear an account of the affair that there is not much left for us to do. You remember that Lewisham gang of burglars?
What, the 3 Randalls?
Exactly. The father and 2 sons. It's their work. They stole a silver service, which is of great value.
Sir Eustace Brackenstall is dead, then?
Yes. His head was knocked in with his own poker.
A violent act of aggression.
Yes, the poor lady. She has had a most dreadful experience. She was assaulted and tied to a chair. But I think that you would best see her and hear her account of the facts. She's in the morning room with her maid to raise a right.
Where is the body of the deceased?
In the dining room. We haven't touched anything.
All right, I'm going to examine it.
Very good, Watson.
Well, that's awfully convenient. We just came around and thing is solved. We can go home. Or maybe it is not as it... Oh.
Baron Lyndon Brackenstall.
Baron Lyndon Brackenstall. Okay. Who is this guy then?
Lord Ramsay Brackenstall.
Ramsay. Okay.
Lord Brigham Brackenstall.
Brackenstall. Brackenstall. Say that quite fast.
Sir Warthen Brackenstall.
My god, these all almost look like some kind of a vampires. Anything else? Do you have anything? No, that's not important.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning room.
Thank you. But... Nothing? Seriously? Nothing absolutely whatsoever interesting in here. Well, I'm a little worried.
Lady Brackenstall awaits you in the morning room.
I just wanted to enter this room. Well, apparently we are not allowed, so we might as well go to the morning room.
Ladies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm assisting Inspector Lestrade in this investigation.
Mr. Holmes, I am the wife of Sir Eustace Brackenstall. We were married only a year ago.
I am sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
I suppose that it is no use my attempting to conceal that our marriage has not been a happy one. I fear that all would tell you that, even if I were to attempt to deny it.
Okay. Yeah. Fresh bruises. Pale cheeks, so not that much outdoor. Oh, Australian origin, cold brooch, kangaroo and okay. Elegant dress, well, obviously. Old bruises. Yeah, I can see. Uh, hmm. Let's start with what happened last night.
Can you describe to me the events of yesterday evening?
Is it really necessary? I have already told Inspector Lestrade all that happened.
Yes, madam, it is.
I will tell you then. Sir Eustace retired about 10:30. I sat in this room until after 11, absorbed in a book. Before I went upstairs, I entered the dining room to fetch a candle and... oh God.
Please, go on.
As I approached the French window, I found myself face to face with an elderly, broad-shouldered man who had just stepped into the room. Close behind the first man, I saw two others. One of them struck me a savage blow with his fist and felled me unconscious to the ground.
And then?
When I came to myself, I found that they had secured me tightly to a dining room chair. It was at that instant my unfortunate husband entered the room.
He fought with the intruders?
Yes, I think he had heard them, for he was holding his stick. But they were three, and he eventually succumbed. One of them, the elder one, struck him a terrible blow with the poker. I fainted once more. When I opened my eyes, they had withdrawn. Then my brave Teresa came to my assistance.
Something missing?
Did these three villains steal anything?
Yes, I found that they had taken the silver from the sideboard, but you can see for yourself in the dining room.
Not a happy marriage.
You mentioned that your marriage was not a happy one. Was there anything specific that was troubling you?
He was not a nice man when he was drunk, and he suffered from dark moods, but nothing else.
Dark moods, you say?
The bruises on your hands are at least 1 week old. Your husband caused those bruises?
Oh, do you... Yes, he did. He was very angry at the time. Out of control. Again. Sir Eustace was a drunkard. To be tied to such a man for life is worse than death.
You do realize
Your ladyship?
you're just giving an motive that why you did it. Okay. Oh, there's a dog painting. Teresa.
Teresa, I would like to hear your testimony.
Certainly, sir.
Portrait first. Wrinkles. Okay. Oh, state. No. Wait, what? Working hands. Well, she is a maid, so that would make sense. Odd coffee stain. Interesting that, well, that's a huge stain, but usually almost Sherlock would be curious about those stains also. Anyways. Oh. Vinegar smell. Okay. So he's caring. Last night.
As I sat by my bedroom window, I saw three men in the moonlight down by the lodge gate. But I thought nothing of it at the time. Oh, if I'd known.
And then?
I went to bed, and it was more than an hour after that I heard my mistress scream. And down I ran, to find her tied to the chair and him on the floor with his head smashed. That's all I know.
Plausible. That's actually a nice painting of a doggo. Yes, I noticed the T marker before that. Small table.
This photograph of Lady Brackenstall and her maid Teresa was taken at a port, but which one?
Oh, I can rotate that. Apparently we can open this. Well.
So the lady and her maid came from Australia 1.5 years ago on this ship.
And that maid would definitely defend her lady. Interesting side note. If I remember correctly, Marcus Antonius, the Roman general and one of the second triumvirate persons, when he was younger, I think there was a case against him that he had an affair with a Vestal virgin. They are not allowed to have affairs, and that's a grave offense. And it went to the court, and obviously Mark Antony's slave gave testimony that freed Mark Antony, or gave an alibi. But of course, at that times, they had to, well, they tortured the slave, because obviously the slave would give a positive testimony towards his master. So when he endured the torture, they thought they were seeing that the testimony was correct one. And that, at least that's what I remember about that. It's been a while since I read about Mark Antony. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's check the picture.
A trapper's hut.
Trapper's hut. Huh. Why are we cared about Trapper's hut? So is that something where we need to go? Well, let's just say then Case's name. Ah.
These scratches are most definitely made by the picture frame.
The Case's name definitely gives a certain impression what this will probably head towards.
This is Sir Eustace's safe. There may be something important inside. I must ask Lady Brackenstall to open it.
Okay. Do we have anything else? So nothing on the tables. Teresa. Oh, how did I miss that? The Times. Family business booming. The Randall gang is back on the street. Less than a fortnight ago, this infamous family of burglars, the Randalls, as they are known, made their reappearance by way of brutal but successful intrusion into one of the wealthier homes in Sydenham. The police are already on their trail. However, the details of the crime are being kept confidential, including that of a name of the victim. A witness was able to provide a precise description of all three men, and this will certainly give the police a chance to complete their profile on this family of delinquents. We would take the liberty of reminding our esteemed readers about this highly dangerous band and to provide the full description as it is available at this moment. The gang has been in business for some considerable time, being a family of three, a father and his two sons. The elder, Jack Randall, is a man in his 40s and already grey-haired while of average height and build. Being the mastermind behind the burglaries, he retains control over his sons, both of whom are close in age but very different appearance. The first son, William Randall, is tall and broad-shouldered, with a small disproportionate head. The younger brother, Melvin Randall, is a somewhat weaker constitution and is skinny as a rake. The gang is wanted not only for their frequent thefts and break-ins, but for the exceptionally brutal pirate career they enjoyed before returning to England. Be alert, and may your valuables stay safe. What an odd coincidence that, well, it could be true, but suddenly we know about Randall gang attacking this place, but we don't know yet one thing. Do they rob places that are empty or not? But yeah, Randall gang and paper which gives us a detailed description of the perpetrators. not quite 25, is from a wealthy Australian family. She's been married for a little more than a year. She has, in all probability, suffered physical violence over the course of the last fortnight. The lady lives solitary lifestyle, seldom venturing outside. Theresa is very attached to her mistress and was known her for a considerable time. She's the only resident servant at the Abbey Grange, cooking for, serving and nursing Lady Brackenstall. She would not hesitate to protect her in event of any trouble. See, we have this problem that basically what we found from the room.
description of the Randall gang provided by Lady Brackenstall is identical to the one in the Times article.
Yeah. See, I was going to say that we have this problem. Basically, the paper doesn't actually say violent behavior, but that everything we know about wrong button now is pointing towards that what we have heard. Of course, the so-called husband's act towards his young wife is obviously true. Randall's, well, they're definitely a scapegoat. But who was the killer? Okay, about that safe. Safe.
Lady Brackenstall, could you open this wall safe?
No, it is my husband's safe. I do not know the combination.
We have to open it.
Your ladyship?
Okay. So that would suggest we would need to see the Brackenstall's body, as he probably have the key, but let's check, because there's nobody here. Oh, you're changed the place. Okay, that's good. Can I go here?
You should examine the body of Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
Okay, finally we can be here.
The hunting scene.
Although I might as well go and check the safe. Can we check it? I don't know.
Let us try to open this
Oh.
safe. This safe can be cracked. I only have to pay attention. The dial will vibrate when it is set to the correct number.
Okay. Dial. I'm guessing this would be easier with the controller. Oh. There's one. At least it's not in like in Eternal Darkness where you had to actually listen little clicks. I thought that the controller would vibrate. I don't know actually if the controller would vibrate when you do this. But the visible cues are enough. Well, actually, make this quite easy. Just okay. So we didn't need the key or anything else. Can I take this money? Well, interesting. The money hasn't been taken.
It is common practice to keep one's valuables in a safe behind a painting. It should not really pose a challenge for a criminal.
Of course, we could argue that as they had to kill the person, they were panicking and left, although they had all the time in the world almost.
Antique coins, possibly of value, but they're scattered without care.
Okay, and that's there. There's the medical report. Sir Eustace, your current physical and mental state is of great concern. There are several signs of hepatic decompensation. The last time that we met, your eyes were bloodshot and your skin was tinged with yellow. There is a particular odor from your breath that is common in those suffering from liver damage. Then there are the lung abscesses that we have discussed. The leg cramps you have described to me are caused by an alteration to the nervous system, which in turn is caused by an excess of alcohol. That includes the tremors. Your liver seemed excessively hard at the time of your examination, which is a sign of evolving cirrhosis. There are also signs of ascites fluid in the peritoneal cavity, which are evident with your swollen stomach. The pain beneath your left rib indicates a pancreatic malady, which may lead to fatal and fulminant pancreatitis. Your condition may pose a risk to others. Your excessive alcohol consumption lowers your self-control and heightens your aggression. I am available to help you with this problem. There are a number of treatment options. So he definitely wasn't in a good condition. So that was easier than I thought. I really thought we should have a key or something like that, but now we have that, so let's go and check the body and the room. Anything? We have few broken glasses.
This candlestick is valuable. It is interesting that it was not also stolen.
Yes.
An empty silverware box. It appears that the intruders have stolen the contents.
It appears so, yes. Oh.
These wine bottles are expensive and mostly from France.
Oh, one is missing.
A bottle of wine is missing here. The criminals did not thoroughly ransack the house. They only took a little silverware. The hunting scene.
More hunting scene.
This door leads to the upstairs bedrooms. Apparently the criminals did not venture there.
Well, apparently they only came in one room, stole few silverware, beat and tied poor lady, and kill his husband and break few porcelain and again only few little things taken with them.
Chateau Calon-Ségur, French wine, Grand Cru.
3 glasses. Why 3 glasses?
A decanter standing next to the open bottle. An inseparable pair indeed. There is beeswing at the bottom, as if the wine had not been decanted before being poured.
Interesting.
This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. This glass has some wine traces, but no visible beeswing. It is rather strange that only one of these glasses has dregs of beeswing inside it, while the other two are clear.
So there were 2 drinkers and the third one was added? Maybe?
Sailor's knots. That's interesting. This rope was handled by the murderers. We need a scent hound to follow their trail. I will take it with me.
Oh, so we are going to use Toby.
This is the chair that Lady Brackenstall was tied to.
Okay, and let's check the body.
So, Watson, what have you learned from examining Sir Eustace's body?
Well, I can confirm that the death was instant. Sir Eustace was facing his attacker when he received the blow to his head. There are no other apparent injuries.
So there really wasn't a fight. He came down and get knocked instantaneously.
Quite a large stick, a formidable weapon.
Right.
Barefoot. He had therefore been in bed and did not have time to fully dress.
Again. Interesting. Can't check the legs. What about the head? There's the poker.
The head was cracked with the force of the blow.
So 1 blow. So I would say that rules out the lady and servant. So there, well, I'm almost certain that the Randalls are just a red herring and a panic excuse. So there had to be a, well, second party. I don't think Randalls ever were here. So there had to be a second party who is connected maybe to
That
Randalls.
must be the murder weapon.
So is that it? Bent poker. Okay. Yeah, I'm just clicking these through those. So what do we have here? Poker blow. The death of Sir Eustace could have been due to a poker blow. Yes, it could have been. 3 people. There were people drinking wine out of the glasses. One of the 3 probably prefers wine with beeswing. There were 2 people drinking wine out of these glasses. The remaining glasses with the beeswing consisted solely of the dregs from the other 2 glasses. I'm going for the 2 people. That would be more likely situation. So, oh,
It is covered in blood. Sir Eustace might have struck his head upon it while falling from the blow. That is one possible explanation.
that is interesting. It might not be murder per se. It could be actually accident. Because there doesn't seem to be makings of a fight, but again, it could be a cold-blooded murder. Deadly accident. The death of Sir Eustace could have been due to his accidentally striking his head on a fireplace grate. Poker blow. The death of Sir Eustace could have been due to a poker blow. That's a problem. It could be. I'll go with the accident for now. Do we have anything about that?
That must be the murder weapon.
Yeah, that's the problem. You're saying that must be the murder weapon, but is there any blood, actually? This is quite dark for me. We have actually 3 murder weapons. This, stick, and the crate. And yeah, it seems clean. But again, I don't know. I don't know. We don't know enough. Oh. Mantelpiece. Okay. What's there then? Piece of rope.
It appears that the bell rope was cut by someone taller than me.
Well, quite tall then. That's the rope that's been used.
A fur trader's cabin.
Why are you interested about those paintings? Anyways, let's check. Clues. Knotted rope. Criminals identified. Bell rope. Well, I always try to, well, not always, but I usually try to click this with the mouse also, and you cannot do that, unfortunately. So have I checked everything? I think I have. But good news is we are going to play with the best nose in the Britain, called Toby. Oh, French window. Interesting. Do I need to check the outside also? That would be nice. Any marks? Can't really see anything. Not saying that there's nothing here to be found, but I really can't see. Oh, that's lovely. Here's the gate. Okay, well, that obviously leaves from this place, which we do not do at the moment. Was just checking that who's standing over there, but it's a statue. Anything inside the cabin? Ah, we can't go in. At least not for now. Maybe it's the gardener this time. So do we have something here? Again, the times and glasses, nothing more. And we cannot enter. So no marks, nothing whatsoever. That was weird lighting. Okay, Lestrade. Tell me. Speak to me. Oh, I can
What do you know about Sir Eustace, Inspector? What was his reputation?
A charming man when sober, but an absolute demon when he was drunk. In such moments he was apparently capable of anything. Why, once he splashed fuel on Lady Brackenstall's dog and set it alight. Another day he threw a decanter of wine at Miss Wright's head.
The alcohol seemed to madden him.
To the point that we were forced to intervene several times to avoid a scandal.
Now, that is definitely quite interesting. Why do I feel like... Because the rope thing... Anything we can check from that? Because... Almost... Because it's interesting, the bell rope... Can we do anything about it? Yes, this is the chair. Did we check everything? Chair... Oh, do we have it in here? Piece of bell rope that was used to tie Lady Brackenstall's chair. It maybe still have scent of intruders. 3 glasses. Oh, I can talk about this. And, okay, I need to go and talk to the Lady Brackenstall. Radio. Glasses.
There are 3 glasses on the dining room table. I was wondering if...
Oh, I forgot. When I came to myself the first time, each of them had a glass in his hand. They might have been a father and his 2 sons. They talked together in whispers, and then they left.
Your ladyship?
Okay. And you? Do you have anything to tell? Ooh, interesting.
Sir Eustace's doctor speaks of his violent behaviour.
Yes, Sir Eustace was an extremely violent man. A detestable human being, to be more precise. It is true that he once threw a decanter at me, and all because I dared to stand up to him in defence of my mistress. Sly devil. God forgive me that I should speak of him so now that he's dead, but a devil he was, if ever one walked the earth. We met him only 18 months ago. She'd only just arrived in London. Yes, it was her first voyage. She'd never been from home before. Wonder with his title and his money and his false London ways. If she made a mistake, she has paid for it, if ever a woman did. She doesn't have any friends here, so it was specially hard for her.
I see. No acquaintances. Lady Brackenstall married Sir Eustace shortly after arriving in England and remained at the home during the time. There is little possibility that she or her maid are acquainted with anyone in the country. Lady is acquainted with someone from the Rock of Gibraltar. That is a possibility. And although it is most likely that Lady Brackenstall may not be acquainted with anyone, at least that much, that doesn't exclude the maid. But now I'm worried because we have this chance here. I'll go with that. Because there has to be one more. But yeah, I think we need to... Obviously, we will give the rope to a dog, but we can perform analysis. So I think we've done everything here. Maybe. Let's go to a Baker Street then. I'm guessing this... The Randalls are just a red herring. Obviously we are going to look for them and they probably have a loot, but they definitely are a red herring.
Let us see how the rope was cut. The fibers at the end of the rope are smoothly cut.
So it's probably some...
Let us try to find out what tool was used to cut the rope.
Okay, we have scissors. Let's take those first. Oh.
The fibers from this cart appear to be different.
Okay, what else we have? Cutters. Why would I skip this?
The fibers from this cart appear to be different.
Well, I'm guessing it's knife.
If I cut the rope with a knife, it matches the original.
Sailor. Because he had a sailor knot. And we already have that acquainted with sailor. Again, this could go with Randall's. They have the pirateering background. But again, the little details. I have to say this was the interesting part, that I can acquire this acquainted with sailor just because. So of course I'm almost certain that it will be a sailor. So is it time for Toby? Hello there, doggo.
Come on, Toby. We need the best nose in the British Empire on this case.
Where are we going?
I agree with you.
So I guess he's with me and we... No, wrong button. Okay, Abbey Grange. Oh yes. Best nose with us. Okay.
Search, Toby.
Okay. I can run. Where are we going? We have done this earlier in Testament. We need to go outside. That's the reason we can go outside. Don't tell me we are going to the shed. That would make sense. Of course we are going towards the shed. Let's check our dog. A little lower for the camera, that would be nice. Anyways, sniff.
The intruders entered the shed for some reason when they were making off with the silverware.
Yes. How weird. Oh, we are continuing. So we sniffed that. Oh. I guess we go back. Now where did the intruders go? There's no sense they're being in shed while escaping. Why? Am I going back? Apparently I am. Oh, how did I miss that? It's right over here then. Or is it? What? I can see some... I don't think I can go through the... Well, I got stuck on the tree. There's something. Oh, yes. Here we go. I was a little lost for a while. Why, well. Well, well.
The scent leads to the well. I should check it.
Yes, I guess we should check that. And so the criminals come in, kill the guy, loot little trinkets, go to the well, and then leave. Well, that really doesn't seem plausible.
The intruder's trail is lost behind this wall. The criminals left the house through the French window. They walked to the shed, then across to the well, before fleeing by climbing over the wall. I wonder why they chose such a winding route.
Okay, so I guess we need to go to the shed and see what we can find from there. Okay.
This hook might be useful.
Okay, if you say so.
This old suitcase sounds hollow. It must be empty. Small gardening tools, nothing of great interest.
Okay, fine.
Bags of seed. Some empty bags were recently moved.
That must be suspicious. Apparently we have checked that through then. Okay. So next stop is the well. Aha.
There's something glittering at the bottom there, but how can I reach it?
Let's remove the bucket. Let's examine it first.
The bucket can be easily removed.
Well, that's a good thing. Now we can change it to the hook.
Silverware. This is hardly a coincidence.
No, I don't think so. We need to rotate and what?
The Brackenstall coat of arms. It appears that we have found the stolen silverware.
There's no reason they would drop it right now because they have already identified anyways. Where did it go? Robbery is the motive. Robbery is confirmed as the motive for the crime. The criminals may have plans to return for the silverware that they dumped. If they dumped it in somewhere else than on the garden of the place where they were robbing, then maybe. But I'll go with the imitated robbery. The robbery could have been imitated to explain Sir Eustace's death. The silverware was not supposed to be found. So, yeah. What do I do now? Oh, did I have everything? We don't have clues at the moment. Let's go inside and see if there's something. Oh, the body is still here. Okay. Let's talk to Lestrade if he has something to tell. Maybe. Okay, silverware.
Inspector, I have recovered the stolen silverware.
You are a wizard, Mr. Holmes. And where is it?
In the garden well.
Excuse me?
Unique, isn't it?
Rather absurd. What is the point of stealing silverware and then throwing it down into a well?
Perhaps it was used as a temporary hiding place, or simply the thieves wanted to get rid of it. It is up to us to solve this mystery.
I could go and check if the lady or the servant has anything to say. Silverware has been found.
We found your silverware, Lady Brackenstall. It had not been taken very far.
Is that true? I am very thankful to you, Mr. Holmes.
Your ladyship?
Okay. What about you, Teresa?
We found your mistress's silverware.
Oh, that's good news. You really are as clever as they say.
Indeed.
Right. No. What do we need to do now? We have silverware. Wait a minute. Can I get anything out of this? The Rock of Gibraltar, 1893. The name of the ship and the date the Lady Brackenstall and her maid voyage from Australia. Well, it doesn't hurt to go and check the check if I can find out something from the Baker Street things, maybe. If that doesn't work, I probably have to check those deductions, but we are missing something. And because again, it's not the Randalls. We need to find
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
we need to
My
find
archive.
Okay.
I can always consult with it if needed.
What am I missing?
Have you found something interesting?
Why can I...
My analysis table.
Okay. What happens if I go with no acquaintance? Hmm. No, I don't. I. It could be accident, and I could end this and acquit the lady. But I'm still not sure because there had to be someone else in there. Okay. So what happens if I go with the poker blow? Sir Eustace was murdered by one person who was visiting that night. It was he who tied up Lady Brackenstall. He is tall and strong. Okay, so yeah, my mistake was that I was going for that it could be an accident. And again, it could be, but because there had to be a third person. So what is this? Look for a sailor. The person who was visiting that night was probably a sailor. That much is true. He made a sailor's knot, sharp knife. Again, the robbery definitely was imitated. That much is almost 100% sure at this moment. One thing that goes against the accident is that the lady was tied. It's a possibility that there was a scuffle and it still was an accident, but it might not be. So, okay, yeah. I had wrong choices. Basically, with this. This was the biggest mistake I had. Because I was playing with the idea of domestic accident. I could go with that and this here, but I want to go as thoroughly as I can. Search for possible sailor suspects. Am I now allowed to go with these? How do I do that? Okay, yes, now I have. Interesting. Now I have this. Rock of Gibraltar, 1893. Is it the newspapers? Maybe. 1893. Rock of Gibraltar's arrival. Well, that was easy. The Strand. Arrival of the Rock of Gibraltar as a ship returned. The Rock of Gibraltar, a bulk carrier from the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, Cunard Building, James Street, London, has returned from a 6-month voyage through India, New Zealand and Australia. The ship brought to England Miss Mary Fraser, the heiress of the Fraser family, owning land and tin mines in Australia. This reportedly beautiful young lady is presently engaged to Sir Eustace Brackenstall, one of the wealthiest gentlemen in Kent.
Here it is.
So, now we know that. How does that help us?
The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
Specialist? Oh, Wiggins. Okay.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my young friend. If you could borrow it, there will be half a guinea for every one of you. I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893 and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the Yard in many ways.
3 hours later.
Here it is, Mr. Holmes. But we can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
Okay, so what do I do now? Ship crew. Do I use it on... In a minute.
I left it right on the table for you, sir.
Oh, okay.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
Murder date November 7th. Departure from Adelaide, Australia, May 6th. Arrival in London, England, November 12th. They're too late. Departure from London, England on October 17, 1898. Arrival in... Wait. What? Wait, what is happening? Departure from London, England on November 10th, 1894. So these are persons who have been in London on November 7th. Is this all? Adelaide, also 23rd. Arrival in London, England. Yeah, no, not these. And not these. Come on. So departure from London, England, November 10th. So these are the people we are looking. Mr. Jack Croker, not Croker, Captain Jack Croker.
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her...
Okay, Croker.
Mr. Jack Crocker was in London upon the date of the crime, and he is due to depart in 2 days.
Crocker. Anyone else? Chill. Nope. Southward. Nope. Woods. Nope. Walker. Nope. Whittington. Is this actually only one? Did I? Huh. Did I miss something? Is this only one? Hmm. Or is there another paper? Okay. What am I supposed to do? This is St. Thomas. Well, there's Whittington.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Oh, so I have to also cross out people who cannot.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
We already know it's Jack Croker right now. Oh. Okay. Woods.
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved.
Chill. Partridge. Okay, there's Chill.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
No, he was not. Southward and Partridge. Partridge.
This officer was on a ship that sailed half a month ago. He wasn't in London at the time of the crime.
Where did I miss the Partridge? Downward. Wrong person. I was looking for Partridge when I was...
This officer is still at sea, therefore he cannot be involved. Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious visitor. He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
Okay, so what now?
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
So that's the third person. Interesting is that this is quite fast. Now let's talk to Wiggins. Apparently.
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring this Captain Crocker here to us?
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit harder. Because we are looking to kill the party. Okay, that's not... Okay, newspaper ink, he's been reading. Well, nothing illegal about that. Clean boots. Ah, knife. Sea knife. Oh. And strong build. Brackenstall.
You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her. From when I was first officer, but I still don't see...
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You... and what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right, if there was no evidence.
What then?
Well, you tied her up.
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
Sailor's knots.
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Sharp. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night?
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
I guess...
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
Watson, give your brain a chance. Anyways. Crocker statements. Captain Crocker. Crocker's alibi. Captain Crocker was aboard the Sharp on the night of the murder. He was not afraid to confront me. He had confident demeanor. Crocker is lying. His involvement is clear. He appears as soon as he heard that I was looking for him, thus signaling his guilt. Let's see what this gives us. Nothing. Well, this case has been quite straightforward. It couldn't be the maid, it couldn't be the lady. And the Randall's part was fabricated to paper and sheer panic and not elaborate way to trying to fake the evidence against them. I'll have to see what I do with the captain. Basically, he is still a murderer. So what do we have? Sir Eustace was murdered by one person who was visiting that night. The murderer is tall and agile and a high-ranking sailor. Arrest Captain Crocker. Jack Crocker is murdered, and you will bring him and his accomplice Lady Brackenstall to justice. The murder was committed in self-defense. Jack Crocker defended a woman against a violent and dipsomaniacal man. The mystery is solved, but you decide to keep it secret. There is no need to inform the police. Lady I could let go. I'll go with this. Yes.
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
Oh no, is there some kind of quick time event again?
Why did you make me come here again, Mr. Holmes?
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know because of the height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots, and not least the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her, for I believed that she was in a happy household. When I talked to her maid, who told me everything, I was insane with rage. I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
Okay. Oh.
You should have let me die. How can I live if Mary suffers?
I am sorry,
Oh.
Captain Crocker, but there has been quite enough death in this case. Inspector, I give you Sir Eustace's killer. He tried his best to perform his own justice.
Well, I'm not surprised. Yes, it was me. I confess.
Here is a piece of evidence that can be used in court.
Perfect. A case that went smoothly for once.
Well, not really. And I can guarantee that I chose quite highly differently than other people. Clues found. 16. Captain is the killer. Arrest the Captain Croker. Yep. And accept decision. Yep. I see that. Again, I do understand. That was quite short one. To be honest, I would think this would be some of the first missions or missions happenings. The Kew Gardens drama.
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever's going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, how ever did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
Not just yet. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, right, okay. I guess she's back there. Yes. I don't know why I checked, but I have to check it. Hello, Toby.
Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were Watson's new literary agent.
Oh, you have been eating Watson's notes, probably. Any new letters cursing me to hell? Mr. Holmes, I'm writing to inform you that the affair of Abbey Grange, which took place almost half a year ago now, still resonates deeply in high society and remains subject of much gossip. This case's romantic background has attracted many suitors who show willing to shelter and take pity on Lady Brackenstall. But to this date, she still serves her sentence with her maid Teresa, and has rejected all offers of help. To be truthful, I suspect that the true motivation of these suitors may well be related to Sir Eustace's title and money. What do you think, Mr. Holmes? Sincerely yours, Inspector Lestrade. Crocker is a fine man of the sea, 1840s. He's capable, honest man, and well educated despite not being very wealthy. He was in haste, and still he read the morning newspaper and cleaned his boots before heading out. Okay, so 4 people in this next mystery and the 3 in the last one. And find the stolen plants from the last exhibition at Kew Gardens. An unusual theft has taken place of the Royal Botanic Gardens, Kew. Holmes's investigation reveals somber trail of deceit. Well, that's interesting. Ooh. Okay. So, this is surprise. 1 episode for 1 mission. Case, sorry. To be honest, this could have been some earlier cases maybe, but yeah, it's interesting. Hard choices made. You can make this very short if you decide to go that the Randalls were the participants of the situation, or if you choose the accident. So basically you could end the case even faster. But anyways, yeah, next time we go to the gardens and see what on earth is happening there and why we are actually trying to solve some land thefts. But okay, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye.